All right. We have a beautiful minion. I saw 13. That's a gematria echad. One left. Whoever needs to come out. I see 11. Whatever it is. Finally, we're together. I'm going to make a Siyum now on Maseches Chagiga. Now I see 5. All right. No. We're all here. We're all together. I was trying to finish up davening. The Heilige Barditchever, they always tell this story about the Heilige of Levi Yitzchak when Sar Sashem Barditchev, Schusi Yagalayim Kol Yisrael Amen. We all know the story. They saw the Yid, he was loading up his truck and he still has towels and tefillin on. He said, Bernishon, look at you, Yid, and even when they're working, they're davening. So here we are all together. I have my alarm going off. And if anybody needs... Oi, Tata, what the time we're in. I didn't want to be from the Chaykri Akates. Everybody's saying, Mashiach's coming, And when it's not, to say Mashiach's coming on Pesach, and it's a week before Pesach, it's a shtickle kfira, because we have to believe he could come today. So every day we have to believe, but now it's Taka today, so we have to believe it's Taka today. If anybody saw any of my other videos, what I said, that the Chavos Yoreh writes that when we open the door for Shvei Chamaschu, it should say, Eliyahu Mashiach Yavai, that Eliyahu Navi Mashiach should come. And that's how simple Jews in Europe 500 years ago feared sich in Germany and other places. We could do the same thing. We could have that simple emunah. And if Chas v'Sholom doesn't come tonight, we should have the same emunah tomorrow night when we fear the next Seder. But Mistama, it's going to be tonight. It's very hard to believe that it won't be. I'm making a Siyum on Chagiga, which is very apropos. I've been learning. There's a Chabura Yisodei Torah that the Satmar Rebbe in Monroe started, and I remember I was there at the Tish at Lag Boimer many years ago. I was still a bacher then when he was miyasid this Chabura. I went ahead a little bit. They're in the middle of learning Chagiga now. I went ahead a little bit, so I should finish Chagiga today. Chagiga is one of my favorite Masechtas, first of all, and the fact that learning it's a seder that Rabban Teitelbaum was miyasid, the Satmar Rebbe from Monroe. It should be a schus for his wife, Rebbetzin Sasha Bas Leah Esther, who was in a very critical condition, and for his brother Hanani Yontiv ben Pesaleah, also in a very critical condition from this machla, and from and a refuah shleima to our old neighbor here, Reb Chaim ben Chana, the Rebbe from Tlas Yankov, Reb Chaim Mertz, all these tzaddikim who need a refuah shleima. But L'chaim, all those that we've lost, big tzaddikim, the Novominsker Rebbe, the Amshanav Rebbe, the Verdana Rebbe, the Sasvigan Rebbe, all kinds of tzaddikim, all kinds of dayanim and rabbonim that we lost. There should be a Meilus Yosher for us. They should make a big Rosh in Himmel. This Mashiach will show Kibbutz. We should talk tonight. We should eat from the Pesachim and the Zvachim and the Korban Chagiga. That we're being makriv by learning the Masechta Chagiga. There's a story of the Chavetz Chaim that he was by a Levaya in Posher Yid, and he saw this woman came to the Levaya, and there was something about her. She had a certain chen to her, and he asked her, "What's your name?" And she said, "Chagiga." And it was the Malach Mamunah Maseches Chagiga came to the Levaya of this Posher Yid who made the Masechta Chagiga his Olam Haba Masechta. We know there's such an Indian. Thank you all for coming and joining us at this special day. If you're watching this later, it doesn't count for the Siyum, but there are other ways you could give tzedakah. You could plan maybe to fast another time. In Chodesh Iyar, we have Bahab, something like that, even in fasting half a day. And so the Masechta Chagiga teaches about, usually I don't like to be marich, but just in case there are people who are running late, want to just explain a little bit. It's about the Korban Chagiga that's brought from the Shlosh Regolim. And on the second, that's why it's good that I wait a little bit so I can answer the phone if someone wants to listen on the phone. Oh, no. So, so then Taka, this whole Indian of the Chagiga, but also we have there the second parak of Chagiga has some of the most openly Kabbalistic parts of the whole Shas, and about the Maisa Bereshis and Maisa Merkava, and so of course it's very beloved to those of us who hold Teres Chain very carefully. On the last daf, there's a little mimer here about the Shulchan. It talks about the Lechem Aponim, that the Lechem Aponim would be fresh when we consider Lukai, that however it was placed down, that's how it would be removed. And this is very apropos, just to cite Pasuk Mizbeach V'Shayim B'Shulchan, that it quotes a Pasuk in Yechezkel, HaMizbeach H Lo Shamis Gvo Av Orka Shtayim Amois Meksois Lo Yarkois. All right. Hello, mommy. Yeah, I'm doing the Siyum now online. You want to listen?
No, I just want to let you know that Solomon is still asleep.
Okay. Not right now. I'll call you in a minute. I love you. All right. So, Hamizbeach H Lo Shamis Gavoya Arkay Shtayim Amos Miksois of Lo Arkay Krois of Eitz Vaydaber Eliza Shulchan Shalifnei Adonai. By the way, we know it's really live, because it's supposed to be live for the Siyum. So it says that the altar was made of wood, 3 cubits high, 2 cubits long, the corners and length, the walls of wood. And he said to me, this is the table that's before the Lord. So the Gemara asks, Pasach Mizbeach V'Sayim B'Shulchan. It starts with the Mizbeach and ends with the Shulchan. It starts with the altar, ends with the table. So Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish, Damar Teveu. Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish, we know all the stories about Rabbi Yochanan and Reish Lakish. They were 2 brothers-in-law. Reish Lakish was the great Baal Tshuva, an inspiration for all of us. And often they argue, and here they said together, the Zel B'Zach, this man shebeis hamikdash kayim mizbeach mechaper al adam. When the Beis Hamikdash stood, then the mizbeach, the altar, would atone for a person. And now the person's own table atones for him. So tonight, by the Pesach Tish, by the Seder Nacht, it's mamish mizbeach. We have to have so much ema and yira, and not only that, but anytime we're by our table, by our own table, the story of the Yismach Moshe. We're talking about fasting and not fasting, and here I'm wearing tefillin, which mentions the whole Indian of Pesach, and there's a Maisa by the Yismach Moshe, the Heilige Yismach Moshe, who was waiting for this day when Mashiach should come, his whole life, and the Yismach Moshe, they saw it was Yom Kippur Cotton, that a lot of people are fasting, and he wasn't fasting, and they asked him, "Why aren't you fasting?" I don't know what happened to my talis. Went upside down or something. Right, there we go. So he said, because I sinned. He said he was eating because the table itself, and eating at the table atones for the sins. Of course, he didn't sin on our level, whatever, but chait means whatever imperfection, whatever it is on his darga. I see we have the oilam here, 16 people. Let's finish up so we was talking about all these. Mishnah mentioned that all these things, they were plated just in case if they became tamei, all kinds of things, and then it ends off with a shtickle agadita, very interesting. Amar Rabbi Abo, Amar Rabbi Elazar. Abo said the name of Rabbi Elazar, Talmidei Chachamim ein or shel gehinim shaletis b'hem. Then when it comes to Talmidei Chachamim, when it comes to Torah scholars, the fires of hell cannot conquer them. That the fires of Gehinnom cannot be shoylet on a Talmid Chacham. Kal v'choymim is salamandra. So Rashi says, what's salamandra? Let's look at Rashi. The salamandra We'll say it inside. Chaya hanivris mina or. It's a mythical creature, according to Rashi. It would seem, although that doesn't mean it's not real. It's mythical. Mythical doesn't not mean real. That's created from fire, from light. It's interesting. He doesn't say eish. He said or. He says that when you burn a fire in the same place, sheva shonim tamid bli hefsek, that if the same place a fire burns for 7 years without ending, this creature called the salamandra can form. Now, of course, the word salamandra sounds to us like salamander, but that's where the word comes from. And Tosfos brings a chol rachbar targum Yonason, Yehonason, karkushta v'salamandra. So aruch. So actually, Targum Yonason translates achbar, which we usually say is a mouse, as salamandra. Okay. So, but Mistama, it's both. It could be both. It could be all these things. But anyway, we're talking here about the mythical salamandra. Uma salamandra shetaledis eishi. Salamandra is an offspring of the fire. Hasach midama ein or shaletisbo. And apparently, I guess it was a real creature that people had access to in the time of Chazal, which were a more mythical time than when we live today. Although I would say today we are living in a mythical time, maybe more than their time. But if you would take the blood of this creature, the salamander creature, and smear it with this blood, ein or shaletisbo, it has an effect like asbestos, that you can't get burned by it. Talmidei Chachamim, Torah scholars, shekol gufon eish, that their whole bodies are fire, because they are transformed. The Marashah says, through learning Torah, you become Torah. And Torah is fire. How do we know Torah is fire? The Navi Yirmiyahu, the prophet Jeremiah, says, "Is not my word like fire?" says the Lord. Al achas kama v'chama. So those of us, which are all of us that are here, we're all Torah scholars. We're all learning Torah now. So at least at this moment, we're mamish flam fire. And so the or shel Gehinnom can't be shoylet on how can the or. Now the thing is, sometimes we see fire could put out another fire. Which fire you think is going to put out which fire? The or Torah, the eish shel Torah, it will put out the eish of Gehinnom, the or shel Gehinnom. It's a push to zach, Anyway, Amar Reish Lakish, again, we mentioned Reish Lakish, the great Baal Tshuva, the inspiration for all of us. Ein or shel Gehinnom shalatis b'poishi Yisrael. At least I'm not going to say about anybody else, but I myself, I'm in the category of Poishi Yisrael. Reish Lakish said the fire of Gehinnom doesn't even rule over the Jewish sinners. Kal v'chomer memizbach hazav. This is a Kal v'chomer, an Eifir argument from the golden altar. She'ein olav el ka'ovid dinner zav. The golden altar, we said before, the Mishnah was discussing how it was plated. So it was only the thickness of a gold coin, a denarius coin. That was the thickness. Even if it's a pretty thick coin, it's not that thick. And the thickness of that coin, that's how thick the gold plating was on the golden altar. How many years didn't the fire rule over it? And many years fire burned on it and didn't melt or burn this gold. And the Rashi says, it says only a little bit of gold, a small amount, and it was never damaged. It was never eliminated because a miracle was done with it. It looks like people are leaving, so let's finish up. Poishi Yisrael Shemalein Mitzvahs Karima. The Jewish sinners who are filled with mitzvahs, like a pomegranate is filled with seeds. meaning we have more than a gold coating. We have a tremendous coating, meaning every Jew lights Hanukkah Lecht. Every Jew fears a Pesach Seder. Every Jew eats matzah. That these mitzvahs are so powerful that the fire of hell cannot conquer us. Dichsiv kefel harim rakosech in Shir Shirim in Song of Solomon. There's a pasuk, it actually comes twice. It says that your temples, meaning the rakosech means the not the Beis Hamikdash temple, the temples on the side of your head. It's not really a shaykhis there to the Beis Hamikdash, or maybe there is. That this part of the head, the temple, is like a cut open pomegranate. So the Gemara says, "Al tikrei rakosech." Don't read rakosech, which means the temple. El rekonim shabach, but really the empty ones from you, meaning people who are empty of mitzvahs. They are like a pomegranate, that they're filled with mitzvahs, like a pomegranate is filled with seeds. Al achas kama v'chama. How much more so that we are protected from the fire of hell by these mitzvahs that we've done. Hadron Allah, Chaymer B'Kodesh Uslikalei Meseches Chagiga. We will return to you, Chaymer B'Kodesh, and we've concluded Meseches Chagiga. I'll now say the traditional Hadron. Hadron Allah Meseches Chagiga V'Seder Moed. V'Hadra Chalon Datan Allah Meseches Chagiga V'Seder Moed. V'Data Chalon L'Nisnash Say Menach Meseches Chagiga V'Seder Moed. L'Nisnash Miman Loi Ba'olma Hadain V'Loi Ba'olma Da'asei. Hadron alach meseches chagiga v'd hadron chalon. Datan alach meseches chagiga v'd datan chalon. Le'nisnas say menach meseches chagiga v'lisnas miman. Le'bol madain v'lo bol madasei. Hadron alach meseches chagiga v'adron chalon. Datan alach meseches chagiga v'd datan chalon. Le'nisnas menach meseches chagiga v'lisnas miman. Lo bol madain v'lo bol madasei. Yirad simul f'necha Adonai Eloheinu l'seinu. Shetei serascho manaseinu b'olam hazeh. Usei manu loylam habo Chanina bar Papa, Rami bar Papa, Nachman bar Papa, Achai bar Papa, Ab Mari bar Papa, Rafram bar Papa, Rochish bar Papa, Surchav bar Papa, Ada bar Papa, Dora bar Papa. Harhev no Adonai Eloheinu. It's divrei sarascha befinu. Ubefius amcha besis oil v'niach ulanu. Anachnu v'tzetzeinu v'tzetzei. B'tzetzei kol amcha besis oil kulanu yoydei shmecha. V'loim dei surasecha l'shma. V'yoy v'ytechak meini mitzvaysecha ki la'olam hili yilibi samen b'chukech alman la'yevoish. La'olam la'yeshkach b'kudecha ki v'amchi yisani. Baruch atu Adonai lamdeni chukecha. Amen, amen, amen. Selav oed. Ma'idem anachnu lefanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'leheveseinu shesamtu chalkeinu miyoshvei beis medrash. V'loi samtu chalkeinu miyoshvei kronos. She'anu mashkimim v'hem mashkimim. Anu mashkimim l'devrei seira. V'hem mashkimim l'dvarim b'telam. Anu amelam v'hem amelam. Anu amelam m'kablam sachar v'hem amelam v'hem m'kablam sachar. Anu rotzim v'hem rotzim. Anu rotzim l'chayel m'abo. V'hem rotzim l'ver shachas. Shenem avatu Elohim to redeem l'ver shachas. Anshe domim yimur lo yechzu yimeim and he yeftach bach. Yiratzim l'fanecha. Adonai Elohai kashem zazartani l'sayim meseches chagiga kain tazrein l'haschel mesechtes esfarim acherim l'saymim lil moed l'lamed lishma v'lasois l'kayim. It's called divrei salmon tersecha b'ahava. U'schus kol tanoim v'amaroyim v'salmidei chachamim yamad li l'zari. Shaloi samush hater mipi zari v'zer zermi hadoilam v'hiskayim bi v'salecha chatan choisach b'shoch b'chov tishmor lecha v'akitzoisa hisis ichecha ki v'yir b'yimecha v'yasifu l'cha shnois chayim orich yama memino v'smoil oisha v'chavoid Adonai oiz lama yitain Adonai yivorich zamoi v'shalom. Can't say the Kaddish, which should be, but we'll in Zecher of the Kaddish we'll say in Maimer Chazal Amar B'Yeshua ben Levi Kol Ha'oin Amen Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach L'Olam Omeil Maya B'Chol Koichai Karm Gzar Dina Yishanemar. All right, this hi and Rebbe Mazel Tov, thank you. Just want to share just one thing before we go. A little bit of chizik. The Navi Yeshayahu talks about Tchias HaMeisim. Thank you for joining us. So he says, first he mentions Tchias HaMeisim. This is the Navi Yeshayahu, Isaiah 26, 19 and 20. Yichu Meisach and Evelosach Yakumun Hakitsu Verananu Sheichne Afar Kitaloris Talecha Veretz Reform Tapel. May your dead come to life, may my corpse arise. We're going to see Yeshayahu Navi also. It was my Zayda. I can wake and shout for joy, you who dwell in the dust and Abamar, but Papa also. Your dew is like the dew that revives the dead vegetation. You may topple the lifeless wicked to the ground. And then what does he say? Lechami boy b'chadarecho skor deloscha bardecha chavi kemat regad yavor zam. Go, my people, enter into your chambers and close your door behind you. Hide for a brief moment until this wrath has passed. So, even though it's one is before the other, but whatever it is, the Mefarshim say it's talking about Milchemes Gog and Magog. They keep saying that this is a war with this virus. This should be Taka the Milchemes Gog and Magog. It should be over today, and we should just lock ourselves up in our doors for now, and make our Pesach Starim al Tzazamen, and then we'll open up the door for Eliyahu Navi. I mentioned that the Chavas Yor as a Harachman who Yetzenim Megolos Lacheris, Yigolenu Megolos Lacheris for the benching tonight, and then we open the door and we say, Eliyahu u'Mashiach Yavoi, and the taka will be Mitzvah Hashem. It could be before that too. Maybe we're already going to now be taken home and go and be in the Beis Hamikdash already. All right. Thank you so much. Have a Chag Kosher v'Sameach, all my friends. Thank you. And I wish we were all together and physically, but the Baal Shem Tov HaKodesh says wherever our thoughts are, that's where we are. And so we're all together spiritually. We're mamish all together. And Taka, we should be zeicha to the scholars Kvod Shemayim. All right. If anybody else wants to say anything, thank you. All right. God bless you. And if anyone's watching this later, it doesn't count for the Siyum, but you could give a little tzedakah, or there's all kinds of apps. There's like Siyum Daily. You can make a Chevra Shas where you make a Siyum together with everybody. They'll give you one Mishnah to learn, something like that. If someone's watching this later in the day and they need to figure out how to be a Siyum, and I'm sure there are other videos elsewhere that count that are going on Zoom and telephone all throughout the day. So we should all be zeicha to Chag Kosher v'Sameach and v'Sham Neichel V'Nuzvachim V'Psachim. All right, good to hear everybody. And if I did anything to offend any of you, please be Michael me. Mamish feels like Erev Yom Kippur today. All right, God bless you guys. Take care.